Stick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on High Tide Stick Radio.
Two behind. Do it big. Yeah, gang. Yeah.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. Yeah. If the grit told me don't waste no time. Nah. Smoking big dope, shit smell like pine. I drop a foreign and the wheels look fine. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time. Since I was young, I was young. Nickels and dollars and nuggets. Ever since they robbed me, trust and believe I was blessed. Smoking like a zombie. Zoo game my niggas, nothing. Dice in my G got me. All my niggas got bustin' stars. I started, stayed on my grind. Nigga grit told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope, shit smell like pine. I drop a foreign and the wheels look fine. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time.
Hey, my hood said get you, so fuck you. You, your dead homies, and your pistol. I'm from Gainesville. We don't talk, we get you. The bullets out this bitch sounding like a Russian missile. I've been a real nigga, I just devil like that. And I be on in Houston, Texas, like I'm rapping like. Use a cartoon character. Facebook dog, need a Grammy, you an actor. Push the ball, me with no ammo in the gun. I got a top on the way and 100-round drum. The difference between me and you haters is I'm winning. The label left a nigga, I bounced back in the bin.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. Nigga grit told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope, shit smell like pine. I drop a foreign and the wheels look fine. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time.
Hey, I'm in the studio, grinding with no pen or pad. Now they gave a right nigga money, now you at his man. Shit, my belly was on E, I can feel the hunger. Ever go broke, I turn your block into a fucking song. I left the West Coast to bring back my street cred. I don't know why niggas eating when the streets dead. I know what bees live when they think I don't. And now I leave a nigga stinking, you think I won't. Expose me to the world, make 2P's famous. But you gon' rub in my money, I'ma sell in payments. I don't owe nobody nothing that ain't on me. You want a feature, we charging a fuck nigga fee.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. Nigga grit told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope, shit smell like pine. I drive a foreign and the wheels look fine. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time.
We're listening to me, the Doc Mr. Trey, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide Stick Radio.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah, you are live on High Tide Stick Radio, live with the doc, Mr. Trey. It is St. Patrick's Day, and we, of course, are going to fill you all in about what St. Patrick's Day is about. I think you're going to be surprised, though. I think you're going to be surprised. I think that you're going to be shocked, actually, with what St. Patrick's Day has evolved into today versus what it really is. I think that you're going to be surprised. All throughout the show, we're going to have funny Irish quotes, funny Irish sayings, all kinds of different stuff. We're going to have a good time with it. It's St. Patrick's Day. A somber day for me, myself, as you know, those who know me personally know that this is also the day that my grandmother and my father passed away on. And so it's been a long time, though. It really has been a while. So it's not something that bothers me tremendously anymore, but you know, just like all losses, I think it bothers you initially, regardless. Shout out to everybody watching us on Periscope and YouTube. Leave a message in the chat box where you're watching from. We'll give you a shout out on the show today. Absolutely give you a shout out on the show today. So let us know where you're at, and we'll let the world know where you're listening from. We got, of course, people in Tampa, Colorado Springs. We got people out in Phoenix, Arizona, and so much more. So stick with us throughout the show. Like I said, a lot of good funny stuff coming up on the show today. Also, we're going to be talking about a few things. Some of the things that we've seen in politics in respect to Donald Trump. We're going to be talking about the I'm calling them the 5 worst quotes by Donald Trump. I think that that's appropriate. I think that the 5 worst quotes by Donald Trump is probably the best name for that. So that's what I'm going to run with there. And then, so again, like I said, a lot going on in Marijuana Radio. Welcome back, of course, to our viewers on Periscope. Sorry we lost you there for a second. And so anyway, so a lot, you know, this Irish thing is fun. So here's our first Irish quote for the day since we just started the show. And that one's really, so this is the quote that if you were Irish, you might say today. There are many good reasons for drinking. One has just entered my head. If a man doesn't drink when he's living, how the hell can he drink when he's dead? So that's, of course, our Irish quote for the day here on St. Patrick's Day 2016. And so a lot of people think that St. Patrick's Day is, you know, it's a big holiday. It's all about drinking. It's, you know, it's this and that. It's that and this. But the truth is that St. Patrick's Day really just marks the beginning of March Madness. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke here. But actually, no, it is a religious holiday. And more profoundly, it is an Irish religious holiday. Fact about St. Patrick's Day, from 1903 until 1970, some 67 years, in Ireland, you weren't even allowed to go to the pub on St. Patrick's Day because it was considered a religious holiday. And a religious holiday meant that pubs had to be closed. In 1970, petitions were then heard and approved to change it to a national holiday, therefore reopening pubs on St. Patrick's Day. So in the very country that this holiday comes from, this great, wonderful drinking holiday, you couldn't even drink until 1970 on that holiday. Interesting, right? Of course, St. Patrick's Day in the U.S. probably brought on by legislation because of the Irish and Catholic communities of the U.S., because it is a Catholic holiday and it is an Irishly laden holiday. But know this, just know this, St. Patrick, by the way, was not even Irish. St. Patrick wasn't even born in Ireland. He was born to parents who were Roman citizens living in modern day England. So technically he was English by birth. He was born in England, but by birthright back then, he was actually Italian. He was Roman. So and more precisely, the part of England that he lived in was either Scotland or Wales. Scholars today cannot agree which one he actually lived in, but he was born around 385 AD. By the time most Romans were Christians, and the Christian religion was spreading rapidly across Europe. So that's kind of a little bit of history about St. Patrick's Day for you guys. Now, our first topic today, of course, involves the good old marijuana. As I sit here and I smoke my blunt, my cigar. Cigarro, papi, cigarro. But anyway, scientists have discovered an astounding new evidence that suggests that hemp proteins have the capacity to repair damaged DNA. The phenomenon occurs in all humans as a result of a phenomenon that absolutely occurs in all humans as a result of aging. Now, while the majority of people are aware that DNA, or and I'm going to mess this up because I'm not good, but deoxyribonucleic acid. I probably screwed that up, but you know, I'm not a scientist, so fuck you. Is present within most living organisms. So here's the thing: is there are perhaps a larger percentage of there are a larger percentage who can completely and obviously to the fact are hereditary DNA. It's material that's accumulated and things. This material becomes damaged as you get older. This material becomes, I guess, worn as you become older, in a manner similar to wear and tear on an automobile. Basically, like engine parts. Like the oil in your engine, it breaks down, and as it breaks down, engine parts start to break down. And this is kind of the analogy that's given in this article that I was reading on High Times magazine. So fortunately, human cells are resilient, and they're able to fix most blemishes. They're able to repair most damage. So the human body in itself is capable of repairing itself within itself, funny enough. So but these are blemishes that occur each day within our genetic code. Yet not all of this damage is repairable, which is what scientists believe leads to the body's inability to heal itself. This is why we get sick as we get older, because we lose the ability to heal ourselves. So, and again, most people don't know this. Most people don't know that your body is a lot like a car. The oil in a car is a lot like your DNA, and your and then there's like the solutions that you put in your car are kind of like weed, and to repair the car. So here's the thing: is there are two primary proteins that are actually found in the hemp seed. It's called edestin and albumin, I believe it's albumin. And they can assist the body in repairing damaged DNA. That is otherwise, which is otherwise incapable of fixing its own self. Edestin, I think is how you say it, protein, which is only found in hemp seeds, by the way, has a makeup similar to blood plasma, and has been shown to promote a healthy immune system as well as eliminate stress. Its counterpart, albumin protein, assist in maintaining the strength of tissue, and not only does it maintain the strength of tissue, but it's more specifically the tissues that hold the body together. So hemp protein contains all of the 20 known amino acids, including 9 essential amino acids, which are called EAAs. These amino acids are labeled essential because the human body cannot produce them on its own. That's why they're essential. They're essential for survival, because we need them, but we can't produce them on their own. And it's part of a diet. It's also a diet. It can't be deficient in our diet. I'm sorry, that's the word that I think is the proper word. So what it boils down to, as you're on here with the good doctor today, the doc, Mr. Trey, is going to tell you that what it boils down to is that, see, what a lot of people forget is that pot itself, the marijuana, cannabis, is the flower of a hemp plant. You know, that's the pot, bud, which we smoke, right? Is the plant. But there's so much more to the plant. There are fibers, there are hemp seeds, there are hemp, and there are hemp seed oils, and there are all kinds of other things that are involved in marijuana besides just getting stoned, man. Like hemp seeds, you can eat hemp seeds all day long, not going to get you high. Not going to get you high. You can eat hemp seeds till you're blue in the face, not going to get you high. I tried. At the cannabis convention last year, the Colorado Cannabis Expo, as a matter of fact, is what it was called, in Colorado Springs, I tried to eat enough hemp seed to get high, and I couldn't. I tried to smoke enough CBD weed to get stoned, and I couldn't. I went in as a guinea pig. I said, hell, I'll try anything once except dudes. It's just me. Not against gay people, by the way, just to clarify. I love my gay friends, family, and etc. I have lots of friends and family that are gay, and I love them. I'm just not gay. So I'll try anything once but dudes. Just saying, and animals. You know, I didn't do anything weird. Because somebody always wants to take it to something sexual and something weird, and you're just like, oh, you'll try anything once, huh? Oh, will you? What about a rhinoceros? What the fuck? Like, where the fuck do you come up with that? And this is why I choose to smoke weed in circles where people are dumb enough to say dumb shit like that usually. And I don't smoke one-on-one with fucking weird people. Not knowingly. So, this article absolutely blew my mind, though. I was really drawn into the article right away because I just felt like, man, this article really kind of puts the sort of the nail to the coffin on a lot of these things that are marijuana things. And I think that this information is something that a lot of people should know. Like, dude, did you know that you don't even have to mess with marijuana in a marijuana like to get stoned way, or even marijuana as a painkiller, marijuana as a substitute for painkillers? You don't have to do any of that. Like, isn't that awesome? You don't have to use marijuana in any negative way if you don't really want to. If you don't want to. That's kind of the key operative, though, is if you don't want to. So when I look at weed now, I go, okay, guys, check it out. You now can look at marijuana, and you don't have to use marijuana in a negative way. You can repair DNA cells on your own body by simply eating hemp seed, by using hemp seed oil for your body, for cooking, for anything. I mean, it's hemp seed oil is as good as coconut oil. I mean, holy shit. If you believe in the working power of coconut oil, then how the hell are you not using hemp seed oil as well? The doc will recommend that for you all day. The doc will recommend that for you all flipping day. Use that hemp seed oil. Abuse that hemp seed oil. It's good stuff, guys. And like I said, now we're looking at the proponent that this hemp, you know, this hemp seed, hemp itself has hemp protein contains 20 of the known amino acids, including 9 that are essential, i.e. the human body cannot produce them on their own and are needed to survive. There are 9. They're in hemp seed. Want to fix a few problems in the world? Hemp seed is kind of like soy. It can be molded into anything. You like tofu? Try hemp fu. Hey, I need to fucking copyright that shit right now. Hemp fu. Hemp fu. Hemp made tofu. Let's fucking get on this. If nobody's done that yet, let's get on this. Guys, I openly and publicly by broadcast copyright the word hemp fu if it's not already done. Just saying, as of today, around 10:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S. So, hemp fu, if you decide to go ahead and make hemp fu, holla at your boy. I will sell you the rights to the name just to see it happen. That's dope. Hemp fu. Hemp seed tofu. Because, again, it's a lot like soy. And soy can be molded into anything. And I think that it'll be from hemp, and really because of the relation to marijuana, what they don't realize is that hemp doesn't have THC in it. You can't get high on hemp. You can't get fucked up on hemp. It really isn't possible. It's not. So again, with hemp being sort of the way to go, I guess is the way I'd word it, though. But if hemp's the way to go, then why aren't we making something like hemp tofu? Why aren't we going with hemp fu? You know, why aren't we doing something interesting like that? I mean, let's do something that is going to be inexplicably better for mankind. And the only way that you can do that is to start opening your minds. Hemp, guys, does not have any marijuana properties to the degree of THC, CBDs, or anything that's going to be illicit or get you stoned. As a matter of fact, you can use hemp lotion, you can eat hemp seeds, and you'll still piss perfectly clean on a piss test. That's just the way it goes. Like, I don't think that people realize that this is as real as it gets. This is as simple as it gets. This is how it really is. We're getting ready to go to break here in about a minute. When we come back from break, we're going to talk about the 5 dumbest quotes from Donald Trump and why we are now pledging with many in the nation and the anti-Trump campaign pact, and why, and just simply why. And I think that when you see why, you're going to understand that it's not even personal. We're not trying to attack Donald Trump. It's just the more and more as this campaign goes on, and the more and more that gets revealed about Mr. Trump, the less and less we really feel like we can get behind a politician of his caliber. And because of that, we really have an obligation as a station to show you who this politician really is, along with all the other ones. But in this case, the severity and the consequences are much higher. Honest answer. We'll be back with the 5 stupidest quotes by Donald Trump right after the break. You're on High Tide Stick Radios, live with the Doc Mr. Trey here on YouTube, Periscope, across the globe, and across the world, bitches. Stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the Doc live on YouTube. We're listening to me, the Doc Mr. Trey, on YouTube live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah. Sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide Stick Radio.
Street heat.
The adrenaline rush with the blueprint for these motherfuckers. Yeah. So what you do is, I'm a nuisance. I got 2 cents about these motherfuckers. Let them know the reality of the way to manipulate the rhythm, and niggas gonna get the formula. Falling the total mentality, because if I'ma get them, and even then I'm still warming up. If I catch you coming at me out of pocket like I ain't the business, I'ma put my hands on niggas. Sick of fucking with you clowns, I got soldiers on deck, and my niggas got hands on triggers. Any issue we can resolve it the way you wanna do it, it don't matter to me, cause I got rides. To be real niggas behind us, and the kind of coconut with the upper black folk bottles. Yo, shit is obsolete. Bitch, I got monster teeth. I devour your shit, taking money from a custom material and my ostrich seat. That's why my whip like dirt. Everybody on it. And what I spit like work. Everybody want it. Yeah, Kush rhyme. I got soldiers on deck, and my niggas got hands on triggers. Any issue we can resolve it the way you wanna do it, it don't matter to me, cause I got riders. To be real niggas behind us, and the kind of coconut with the upper black folk bottles. Yo, shit is obsolete. Bitch, I got monster teeth. I devour your shit, taking money from a custom material and my ostrich seat. That's why my whip like dirt. Everybody on it. And what I spit like work. Everybody want it. Yeah, Kush rhymes. Cocaine beats. It's a problem if we serving on the same street. My shit come back like good dope. What I spit come back like good dope. Kush rhymes, cocaine beats. What I bust will make your motherfucking brains bleed. My shit come back like good dope. What I spit come back like good dope. We holding big money, rolling on big wheels. Just ask about me in the hood, I'm a big deal. 20 guys going even to the club, bro, but it's coming to you with the shit. Don't get you know I'm with the goons, and I got the fuck only her shit's real. Anybody wanna get it, they better be ready, heavily armored artillery trilogy. Gonna be imminent, infinite images of your destruction, a ribbon and hit them, and I go proceed to get the Benjamins. Cannibalistic in the industry, I got a sweet tooth, rappers taste like cinnamon. Real beef is if I reach you in the streets, multiple shots in the body, make them lean like venom.
I'm turned up, kinda throwed off. That's sipping some rock and getting high till I doze off. If I ain't popping, I can get some elbows off. What you talking about, bitch? Take your clothes off. Push rhymes, cocaine beats. It's a problem if we serving on the same street. My shit come back like good dope. What I spit come back like good dope. Push rhymes, cocaine beats. What I bust, I'm making motherfucking brains hit. My shit come back like good dope.
High Tide Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the Doc live on YouTube.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Keep dwelling on the past, babe. Nobody I need, yeah. I need some real good loving. Cause I'm troubled by the things that I see. Ooh, I need some real good loving. Ain't nobody been around here loving on me.
Yeah, we are back. Of course, in the house, live with the Doc, Mr. Trey on High Tide Stick Radio. Before we went to break, we were talking a little bit about hemp seed and how it could repair DNA. And again, totally blown away by this article. Check it out. It's an article by High Times Magazine. You can actually get there's a link to the article right now on High Tide Stick Radio's page. Just go to High Tide Stick Radio on YouTube, Facebook, any of those, and you can find the hemp seed repairs DNA. It's actually a really fascinating article. Again, something that I think that people should really consider. That people should really be concerned with in a good way for once. Have the concern to look into this because it could be something that could save someone in your family's life. It could be something that could be the difference between someone in your family having a good, pleasant life and not. Think about the damage it could repair. I'm quitting smoking, and I'm hoping that it's going to repair the damage in my body too. But I'm probably going to have to go to like some more CBD because my body needs that painkiller. And because I believe that CBD helps epileptic seizures, I believe that it may be able to help the brain dysfunction / misfiring that happens with ADD people like myself. So a lot of things that can go good and can help you when it comes to the good old ganj. But it turns out that one of the basic properties, hemp seed and hemp seed oil, which if you know anything about hemp's not, you can't smoke hemp. Hemp's not going to get you stoned. Hemp's not going to get you high at all. Not even close. But hemp will throw you back. No, I'm playing. Hemp, but like I said again, hemp could have been the hemp could have been one of the blocks, one of the foundations. Hemp could have been one of the things that we used to avoid so many other troubles when it comes to marijuana. So many of the other, not marijuana, but disease and fighting all these issues and fighting all these problems and fighting all these just things that really make life bad / horrible for people. And I think that at the end of the day, when you ask yourself, what's the right thing to do? Look at hemp. It might be the thing that, again, if you're against pot, if you're against marijuana, if you're against the good old ganja, if you're against having a problem, if you're against, wanting to have a problem about the smoking of pot, whatever the case may be, if you're against that, then I think at that opportunity, you now have the opportunity to take a look at that and say, could hemp, just as a daily dose of goodness, like a vitamin, could hemp be consumed? Could hemp be consumed and be used as good old food and a good old supplement for you? I think if you say anything but yes, you're crazy. Because the reality is that obviously there's more to this hemp than just clothes and paper. Obviously, it's a source for food. We know this. Obviously, it's a source for this and that. We know this. But it could be more. Who knows? Oof. Sometimes you just got to smash a hit and go. So, I digress. Well, let's get into this whole Mr. Donald Trump thing. So, I have some quotes by Mr. Trump that should blow your mind. I think that there's the 5 most ignorant quotes by Donald Trump that you could possibly ever think of. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at these 5 things that Donald Trump has said that are absolutely freaking ridiculous. But before we do, we need another fun Irish fact. We need another, holy shit, that's Irish fact. So here's a fun Irish fact. At the age of 16, St. Patrick, then not Saint, but Patrick, had the misfortune of being kidnapped by Irish raiders who took him away and sold him as a slave. He spent several years in Ireland herding sheep and learning about the people there. At age 22, he managed to escape. He made his way essentially from there all the way back to a monastery in England, where he spent 12 years growing closer to God. So funny enough, the real St. Patrick was kidnapped. He was a slave. What else did we learn today about it? That you couldn't even drink on St. Patrick's Day because it was a religious holiday. These are interesting facts, by the way. So, oh, yes, of course. And then we need our fun fact about St. Patrick's Day, or our fun St. Patrick's Day thing. So, let's see here. Here's a good Irish toast. May you die in bed at 95 years, shot by a jealous husband or wife. I get it now. So basically, may you die older than hell in bed with a young woman, so your wife shoots you for cheating on her. Nice. Nice. Sometimes the luck of the Irish is unexplainable to me, I'll tell you that much. Holy shit. I don't even know how to take that right now. Like, I really don't even know how to take that. That cracks me up. I have no fucking clue how to take that. But gonna run with it. And I'm gonna run that way. So some of these Irish things may be a little hard to understand, but you have to look at that this is a peoples that have been around for a long time, long before Christianity, long before most of them. Most of Ireland was settled by northern Icelandic type cats. So, or not Icelandic, but frozen people. Frozen people. That's the best I can say is frozen people. One of my friends from junior high and high school is commenting right now. She's watching the show. She's like, "You're blowing trees. That's great. You're doing it up." Well, shout out to, of course, Mona Lisa Johnson from out in used to go to school with her out in Colorado, or in Fountain, Colorado, at Fountain Brook Carson High School, etc. But anyway, so shout out to her for watching the show and checking out the show for the first time. So first, let me give you a couple of the quotes that are just asinine quotes from Donald Trump. And then I'm going to move into my real agenda here of why we've decided to take a stand against Donald Trump. I didn't want to get into the politics of it early on because I wanted to wait. But unfortunately, I think with the way things have went and things, I'm going to at least step in and say that I cannot stand back idly and watch a moron get elected to run this country. One thing about the people that run this country is, whether you like them or not, they are educated and equipped to do the job. They're not just an idiot. So, like I said, I want to reiterate that whether you like these people or not that run the country, the bottom line is they're not stupid. They're well educated. Even George Bush, who was kind of an idiot about shit, he's kind of a big dumb country bumpkin about shit. He's not a fucking idiot. Don't ever get it twisted. Because he conned the U.S. government into going into Iraq when the real problem we had, our real enemy, was hiding in Pakistan, and we knew that. And he still conned the U.S. government into allowing him, Democrats and Republicans alike, allowing him to go into Iraq. And so when I say that, I say, yeah, you don't have to fucking like him, but he's not an idiot. He played the dumb country bumpkin, and if you fell for it, shame on you. If you fell for it, haha, then you walked right into the grasp of his trap. Haha. You really did. So it's something that, largely considered that like holy shit moment, because this has been done before. We've allowed people to trick us into doing stuff. I just think it's a little frightening that we're allowing ourselves to be tricked into electing a moron. And I don't care whether you like him or not. He's great for TV. I'll admit that. He's great for TV. Again, I'll admit that. No problem. He's not great to run a nation. You have to look at the people that you're picking to run a nation. You have to accept that, I hate to say it, but you have to accept that shit may not go the way you want. And you have to just, you have to sort of live with it, I guess is the word to say. It's a complicated thing with this. Politics aren't easy. And I think that that's one thing that kind of makes them an interesting thing is they're not easy, and they weren't supposed to be easy, but we're turning it into a joke in a game. And I think that that's distasteful. I think that that's despicable. And I think that that's that like people's credibility should be shot over how this is being taken as a game. This isn't funny. This is our country. We're supposed to be electing people. We're supposed to be bringing people into power. It should be right. Quote number 1 by this moron. All of the women on The Apprenticeship flirted with me, consciously or unconsciously. That's to be expected. I mean, seriously, guys, my Twitter has become so powerful that I can actually make my enemies tell the truth. Well, if he says that, Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio are lying about him, but his Twitter's so powerful he can make his enemies tell the truth, and those are his enemies. I mean, I'm kind of putting 2 and 2 together here. I'm kind of, the word I'd say is figuring it out myself. So if I'm putting 2 and 2 together, Donnie, and I'm figuring it out myself, and I'm realizing that you're an idiot, everybody else needs to start realizing that. This is the worst. Racist as shit. Our great African-American president hasn't exactly had a positive impact on thugs who are so happily and openly destroying Baltimore. So now because the president's black, it's his fault that people are thugs. 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 I felt like that was the moment fucking Thuggish Ruggish Bone should have started playing. It's the Thuggish Ruggish Bone. Gotta get that money, man. It's still the same now. Gotta get, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. So, quote number 2, 3, quote number 4. I will build a wall. I will build a great wall. I will build a great wall. And nobody builds a wall better than me. Believe me. I'll build them very inexpensively. I will build a great wall. A great wall on our southern border. And I'll make Mexico pay for it. That wall. Mark my words. Well, here's my question, Mr. Trump. Fine. That's cool. Build your wall. You're frightened by the Mexicans coming in from the south, illegals coming in from the south, Mexicans. I want my fucking Canadian wall. I want my goddamn Canadian wall. I fucking want my Canadian wall. There needs to be a wall that stretches from Vancouver past Toronto. I want my wall. I mean, come on, man. I mean, shit. if it's really about national security and less about a wall, then, hey, I want my wall. I want my Canadian wall. And I want Canada to pay for it. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. This isn't personal, Canada. I love you. I fucking love you, Canada. This isn't personal. I just want it to be fair. Fair. That's it. End of story. I want a wall along the Alaskan border. Keep those goddamn pesky Canadians out of Alaska. What the fuck is going on there? How come nobody's looking into that? What the hell? I know I sound ridiculous, guys. And I should sound ridiculous to you. I should sound ludicrous to you, even. I should sound borderline insane to you right now. Because that's the insanity. We'll talk a little bit more about this when we get back. Also, 5 things that you are more likely to do than get your bracket right with the March Madness. And then also the Pennsylvania House working towards marijuana legislation going in a positive manner. I'm the Doc Mr. Trey. You're on High Tide Sticks live with the Doc Mr. Trey. We'll be back after the break. High Tide Stick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on High Tide Stick Radio.
I flow homegrown, hit rival shop shit. And when I crack that joint, next snap, the nose twitch. Keep you looking K9 on some dope shit. Step out the whip, they be like, hey, on that phone shit. I'm on that fat chop, has it rolls home shit. You on that skinny joint, that bathroom at your mom shit. The forecast for my house, say watch out for that smoke shit. The forecast for your house, say clear skies today shit. I'm just saying, blow all day and this is RMK and you niggas playing. I'm just saying, blow all day and hot box skating, Grand Canyon saving, yeah. That cheap no lighter, high as the empire, feel like I'm walking on wire. Say I blows loud Mariah, got me looking for that Keisha. Spend them high notes on Rico, smooth out the leader. I blows loud Mariah, that cheap no lighter, high as the empire, feel like I'm walking on wire. Say I blows loud Mariah, got me looking for that Keisha. Spend them high notes on Rico, smooth out the leader. Smoking pound after pound, drink around after round, we getting loud by the leaders. That's just how we getting down. Jay knocks the house when they repeat that when I come around. In your pockets, loose chains, great months, and I'm out. City of the scope, cheese slow to that dope. Choking on my throat, got me coughing out smoke. Keisha bad chick, where I'm from, she keeps me smiling. She coming like green, so I never stop lighting. Down to the wire, burn my fingers, saving duties in the whip. Hot box music for the blazers. Yeah, we choosing roach clips. Don't wanna burn my lips. Grip tight, bump with blunts. Never out my fingers when we riding around, nigga. I blows loud Mariah, that Jeep in no lighter. High as the empire, feel like I'm walking on wire. Say I blows loud Mariah, got me looking for that Keisha. Spend them high notes to Rico, smooth out the leader. I blows loud Mariah, that Jeep in no lighter. High as the empire, feel like I'm walking on wire. Say I blows loud Mariah, got me looking for that Keisha. Spend them high notes to Rico, smooth out the leader. Stuck young loud like a fire not broken. Ride around town, making better, get me smoking. Take a few hits on my breath and I toast it. Make it know I'm high, you can smell it on my clothing. I'm a King Kong, and I'm the Empire. So wild, brother side wire. I'm so loud, hitting high like a rider. Caught up on a leash, girls on fire. Take a couple toast and I pass it to the left. And hell it through my nose and I hold my fucking breath. Dissipate
take the smoke till there ain't nothing left. Man, you know we smoke right away, we fucking dread.
I blows loud Mariah, that T-pin no lighter. High as the Empire, feel like I'm walking on wire. Say I blows loud Mariah, got me looking for that key suspender. I know Tariq, it's smooth out the leader. I blows loud Mariah, that T-pin no lighter. High as the Empire, feel like I'm walking on wire. Say I blows loud Mariah, got me looking for that key suspender. I know.
High Tide Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to The Doc live on YouTube.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah, we are back from break. And of course, coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. You're on High Tide Stick with the Doc, Mr. Trey. I'm the Doc, of course, Mr. Trey. And you are on with me. Before we went to break, we were talking about Donald Trump, and I'd like to sum up this conversation, sort of get it out the way, get it over with. And that's that, you know, a couple of things that I think that people need to, you know, there's a lot to be said about someone who continuously promotes bad behavior. You know, he's calling for riots at the convention if the party tries to block his nomination. So they're calling for riots at the convention if the party's trying to block his nomination and things like that. And again, these are things that are just a bad seed. Like, I think that Mr. Trump is perpetuating negative behavior. I mean, think of it this way: the black protester that was being walked out or escorted out of one of his speeches or whatever, the police arrested the black protester that was flipping off the crowd, but didn't arrest the white man who hit him. He was only arrested the next day after outrage by the media. All of the officers that were involved in this, by the way, were suspended and have either been demoted or placed on probation or some type of behavioral type ordeal they're facing. But it just blows my mind. It's just like, I'll silence you, but I'm not going to hold anybody else accountable. Trump threw out, Jorge Ramos, the Univision reporter. Trump threw him out, refused to answer his question, told him go back to Univision, which is like saying go back to Mexico. And then one of the Trump's people who had him escorted, or one of the escorts that was Trump's people, told him, why don't you go back to your own country? Jorge Ramos said, I'm from here, you idiot. He didn't say idiot, but I know he was thinking it, but I said it. So, you know, it's just one of those things where Ramos is like, I'm a U.S. citizen. What do you mean go home? I'm a U.S. citizen. The same reporter, by the way, he doesn't just go after Trump. He did go after Clinton as well. Asked if she was indicted, would she drop out of the race? And of course, he was the one that she laughed off. Donald Trump offering to pay the legal fees of his protesters who create violence. I mean, this is like he's like a thug, a mobster. He's like, look, you go break his kneecaps. If you break his kneecaps, I'll pay your legal fees, capiche? This is ridiculous. You can't be like this and run a country. This isn't a business. You can't throw people by the wayside. Nobody's expendable. These are humans. These are people. Drives me fucking nuts. Drives me nuts. We can no longer even just consider him a player in the game here at High Tide Stick Radio. At all. Period. High Tide Stick Radio has not endorsed anybody, neither have I myself. I'm not sure who we're going to endorse or if we're going to endorse anybody, because all players have to agree on the candidate or we won't endorse anyone. We will suggestively endorse a couple of candidates. We will not endorse any one candidate if we cannot all agree here at High Tide Stick Radio. However, me personally, I'll tell you who I endorse when it comes to time, but I can tell you that it will not be Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump will not be endorsed by High Tide Stick Radio. And I may not be anybody to you, but I'm somebody to a lot of people out there, and I'm somebody to a lot of listeners out there across the globe in the country, and I'm saying, hey, no. No, 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 no. Not anymore. We can no longer have this level of stupidity and think that it's okay and continue to perpetuate this level of idiocy. That's just ridiculous. It's time for us to take the big boy pants on. And if you doesn't like it, go after it. This right here, one of the worst quotes by Trump ever. Ariana Huffington is unattractive, both inside and out. I fully understand why her former husband left her for a man. He made a good decision. Seriously, dude, that's fucking ridiculous. First off, if her husband turned out to be gay, that's none of your business. But either way, her looks or anything to do with her personally may not even be the why. That fool's probably been gay his entire life, and you're going to turn around and you're going to throw her personal business out there in the street like that and put her on blast like that because Huffington Post isn't going to back an idiot like you. That's ridiculous. That's disgraceful. And the way you put people down, Mr. Trump, the way you talk bad about people, Mr. Trump, to me is beyond ridiculous. It's beyond idiot. It's beyond stupidity. You drive racial wedges into people. I've made it clear. The state of Arizona wants to back you, or my parents want to back you. I promise you, I will stop talking to people over you, because whether you're racist or not is a regardless thing to me. I don't care, because you drive racism. You drive people to be hateful. You drive people to be nasty and mean. And that's the kind of person that I want running, I don't know, a waste management dump or something where you don't have to deal with people. You're not somebody I want running my country. I want somebody who understands what it's like to be racially divided. I want somebody to understand how to pull this country back together. Nobody in the Republican Party knows how to pull this country back together, because most people in the Republican Party are either racist or hate poor people. Fact. Biggest job killers in the United States, Republicans over the last 20 years. Fact. Biggest job creators, quite the opposite. Fact. Go figure. So, by the way, just real quick, I just want to let you guys know that in Pennsylvania, it looks like they've been able to, after about 8 months of delaying by the I think it was the House in Pennsylvania, if I remember right, the medical marijuana legalization bill 149-43 finally passed the House after it had already passed the Senate a while ago, the state Senate a while ago. Like I said, it took about I think it was 8 months for them to finally get off of their ass and do something about it. So now it moves forward to be signed by by Governor Wolf, and in all hopes and for all intents and purposes, everybody thinks that Governor Wolf will sign the bill. So there seems to be no worry there in the state. I don't see a cause for concern, because the bottom line is if it passes both of the other parts of the House, he doesn't seem to me to be the kind of guy that's going to do any blocking. He doesn't seem to be the kind of guy that's going to perpetuate a problem. So I look forward to him actually making that submission, and let's get it done. Let's get the job done. So at this point, I see that happening, of course. I think that we'll be fine on that at least. So we're getting ready to get out of here for the day. We're getting close to the end of the show. And shout out to everybody, of course, who has put music in for the show. All of our local artists that were able to get on the show. Shout out to all of them. Thank you guys for being part of the show and being on the show. And even if it's just to be here through music, and again, we're getting closer towards the end of the first season, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been on the show. We only got we got less than a month left in the season, I think, or getting close to about less than a month left in the season. And so with that said, I just want to sort of nod my head and thank and just let you know that to every one of you that's been part of the show, every person that's been a guest, every listener online on Periscope, YouTube, everybody that's been part of this first season, thank you. Like, I really appreciate every one of you. It at times hasn't been easy. And I've been being my own engineer, my own reporter, my own investigator, my own research, my own development, everything. My own guinea pig. In the hopes that I can make America a better place. I will genuinely and truly miss you guys to the depths of my soul and beyond. Once I leave Florida, of course, because we're not stopping High Tide Stick. But I'll miss you guys all summer. I'm taking the entire summer off. We'll be back after the first year. So, like I said, we only got about a month left in the show, like a little over a month and 3 days left in the show. And then we go on break until the fall, where we're going to start up actually probably a month earlier if we can, because of the political race heating up and so much going on in politics. But either way, no matter what we can do, I just want to say thank you for every listener, viewer, and person that's been part of this great thing that we've got to do. I've really had a fun time. It is, like I said again, it has been a blessing and a blast to really be part of all of this. Truly love every one of you. Glad to be part of that. We're going to get out of here for the day. You've been on High Tide Stick with the Doc, Mr. Trey. And again, we will get back with you guys right here tomorrow for the last show in Tampa, Florida. I'm going to miss you guys. Love and peace, chicken grease. It's been a pleasure. I'm the Doc, Mr. Trey.
Right. Yeah. That's what they want, man. Yeah. Keep all this, by the way. Right. I hope you like surprises. Yeah. Right. I hope you like surprises. I love that, man. Right. I hope you like surprises. Yeah. Got it. I got it. I don't think I'm gonna put no elements on the front part, so you can just leave that. But I'm look, I hope you like surprises. I bet this gon' surprise you. When ain't no one beside you, it's easy to decide who loves you when you got to, who loves you when you not you. Ain't got about the piss in, still I go in like potholes. Smoking more than heads. Kill these niggas, mister. I just got the call from Dig. Getting emails from the feds. DP told me stay ahead. And if I stay anything, just stay about your bread. I'm just doing what he said, nigga. Right. I'm just doing what he said, nigga. Got it. Told me don't. He said, bum rush these niggas, they ain't ready. Right. Free my niggas out the state and the feds. And my niggas in the halfway trying to make 9 reds. Hold your head, ain't no way that they can hold us forever. I'm out here going hard, they think I'm trying to set a record. I'm just here to set the record straight. Real about the ricochet, realest shit I ever say. Mr. Too Serious, they like, I don't think he ever played. Do exactly what I say. Rocky Mountain Code, only do it in the cold. It's so hard to trust a soul, they hate to see you touch your goals. Your teammates want you to fumble, young man had to rumble. Step my game up off the stumble, I done had my heart crumble. They wonder how I keep coming for niggas spots. Coming for niggas spots, cause I done seen the realest niggas stripes turn to that same line. These niggas like to say a lot. Man, these niggas like to say a lot. Yeah. I hope you like surprises. I did it on my own. Ain't nobody advising. I refuse to lie to you. At times I wanna give it up. Like fuck it all and give it up. It's hard to live and live it up. Live it up. If death come up on me, how long they gon' mourn me? How long you gon' hate me? I cheated on you years ago. How long you gon' hate me? You tatted, you can't erase me. We got a child that we raising. I'm raising hell on these niggas, trying to reconcile my differences. I be on that different shit. Got a bitch that love me, but I be with a different bitch. Selfish ass nigga. All I want is everything. Willing to do everything. Yeah. And I put that on everything. Yeah. I put that on everything. So, at least I hope you like surprises, nigga. Right. I hope you like surprises. No surprise, yeah. Ain't doing nothing right. Yeah. Still look like surprise. Things still repping the same thing. My nigga, ain't right.
We're listening to me, the Doc Mr. Trey, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide Stick Radio.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
High Tide Stick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to the Doc on High Tide Stick Radio.